I have been beyond excited to share this week's project with you guys since I made it back in July. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the build footage during a big data loss on my computer, so I had to reshoot and refilm some of it, but we're back in action and I cannot wait to walk you through this project. What I love about this table is that it looks like a solid table from the outside but has hidden storage on the inside. As always, you can find the full PDF plans for this project on RYOBI Nation by clicking on the link below this video. You can also find the list of materials and products I used for this project by visiting my website. First step in this process was to square up my boards and then measure and cut the pieces for the top and bottom panels. Once I did that, I went ahead and marked where I wanted to join the panels together with my biscuit joiner. I then just clamped these boards to my workspace and used my biscuit joiner to create grooves in each one of the boards. What I love about the biscuit joiner, besides the fact that it actually reminds me of biscuits and gravy, because I'm food motivated, is that it is a really cool way to join boards and have the joinery be concealed inside the boards instead of using something such as pocket holes, which you have to cover up later. Once my grooves were cut, I then went ahead and added biscuits and glue to each one of the boards. Next, I just attached the boards with the biscuits to the boards with just the grooves, and I made sure I had to do this twice, once for the 3 top panels and once for the 3 bottom panels. I'm only showing you one just to save some time. Once everything was aligned, I then used parallel clamps to apply pressure to both sides of the board on both panels. I also made sure to flip the panels over just to make sure that everything was flush on both sides. I then used a damp rag to wipe away all the excess glue. As the top and bottom panels dried, I cut out the 2 sides, the back panel and the front panel of the actual carcass of the table to prep for the next step. I then only drilled pocket holes in one side of each of the side panels. That way I could connect them to the back panel with pocket holes but still keep the front free of pocket holes because we're going to be attaching the front in a different way. Next, I connected the side pieces to the back panel with wood glue, which I forgot to take a video of, and some pocket hole screws. I came back the next day and just removed the clamps from my glue up on my panels. And then I attached the top panel to the carcass of the table with a couple of corner brackets. As well as some L brackets. We'll be attaching the bottom later on, and I'm going to show you that in the next step. After the top panel was attached, I clamped the front of the table onto the actual carcass itself, removed it from the workbench, placed the bottom panel onto the workbench, and then replaced the entire table on top of that. At this point, my thought process was that I needed to clamp the bottom panel to the entire table so it didn't fall off, but then I forgot that the front panel was clamped and I had to open it to attach it, so I just kind of messed around with the clamps until I was able to attach the bottom panel to the entire table and then have enough room to open the front panel so I could attach it a different way. I then figured out where I was going to put my concealed hinges because that's how we're attaching the front of the table, and then used my Craig concealed hinge jig to create the openings to make the hinges flush with the inside of the front panel. These are the hinges that are going to make the table look like a solid table, but also hide that secret storage. I then just attached the hinges to the front panel as well as inside of the table, and made sure everything closed and opened smoothly. Next, I cut my 2x2s into the pieces for the base as well as a small support for the center of the table because there was a little bit of sagging. I just added that center support with some wood glue and then tapped it into place using a mallet. Next, I attached the bottom panel to the unit by pre-drilling holes and just attaching it with wood screws. Once the table itself was complete, it was time to build the base. So I just drilled pocket holes into the ends of each and every frame piece and just left the leg pieces alone. I then attached the frame pieces to the leg pieces with wood glue and pocket hole screws. There was a lot of screwing, a lot of gluing, but at the end you should end up with a couple of different units that are going to be together to make a base that eventually will look like this one. After assembling everything, I went ahead and just filled in any cracks or bruises in the wood and then sanded everything down smooth once those patches dried. Next, I decided to paint the base a black color. You can choose any color you like. I also stained the top of the table with wood stain. I was going for more of an industrial rustic look here. I hope I achieved that, but I just felt like the stain and the black base worked really well together. I had to deliver this table to my apartment in pieces since my apartment is so small, but once I did that, I just attached the table carcass to the base by screwing some wood screws through the bottom of the table. And really, that was it. Now I have a really cool place to stash some of our board games as well as some of the clutter when we have guests come over, and since we're in a studio, we really don't want this to feel like a bedroom, so anything that we would normally put in a bedside table can go into this storage table as well. Anyway, I hope you guys really love this project as much as I did. As always, please feel free to visit my website and click on some past projects. Also, make sure to subscribe for more videos in the future. In the meantime, happy DIYing and see you all soon.